Yoga for Everybody, representing Provenance Vie Saine for a healthy lifestyle. I'm here to share with you guys some of my favorite intermediate level yoga poses now, beginning with the Spinal Balance. The Spinal Balance I've chosen for us to begin with because of the fact that it really helps to warm up the body in preparation for the poses to come in future videos. And also because it really helps strengthen those core muscles in the abs and the back, and also brings a nice stretch and increase in flexibility of the spine and the hips. And we're improving our focus and coordination because of the incorporation of the balancing challenge of this pose. And we're also going to help to relieve stress and tension with the spinal balance. So let's go ahead and join together on our mats in a comfortable seated position, and then I'll show you guys how to safely transition into and out of this fabulous pose. From a comfortable seated position, let's of course begin our practice by checking in with our alignment. So, how are the shoulders? Are they down and away from the ears? If not, maybe we'll want to give them a little roll. So, rolling the shoulders up and down, helping to loosen up any tension that may be lingering there. And we'll keep the chest open, the crown of the head lifts up to the sky, the bottom of the glute sinks down into the earth. Remember to establish a flat connection on the bottom of the mat before we begin our practice. Okay, we're also engaging the core muscles here to keep that back nice and straight. And we're initiating that deep belly breathing pattern. So, bringing each breath from the diaphragm first, then up into the lungs, then out the belly, and out the lungs. Relaxing the jaw, allowing the tongue to drop to the back of the throat will also help relieve some tension in the face and allow that breath to flow more freely in and out the nose. Okay, and then when we have established that nice breathing pattern, we can go ahead and transition to a hands and knees position. So, we'll want to bring the wrists directly below the shoulders, and we'll also want the knees to be directly below the hips. Okay, the feet will stay hip width apart as well. Let's also check in with the alignment of the spine here. So, notice if there's a dip or a hunch in the spine, and if there is, tilt the hips and the pelvis, engage the core until you can tell that the back is nice and flat. Okay, and remembering of course to spread those fingers nice and wide here will also take pressure off the wrists because it can be quite taxing on the wrists. Okay, so an even distribution between all 10 knuckles is going to be your best bet. But I will say, however, that we could replace fists for wrists. So just making a loose fist with the hands and then directly pressing the knuckles into the earth might be a nice option if you start to feel fatigued after a couple breaths. And also a little bend in the elbows here will help take pressure off of that sensitive elbow joint. Okay? And then what we'll do is, on the next inhale, let's go ahead and all together bring one arm up and the opposite leg up, just until they're parallel to the ground. Exhaling down. Next inhale, we'll switch. So we'll bring the opposite arm and leg up just to parallel. And then exhaling down. If we want to try holding the pose, we can go ahead and bring those limbs parallel to the earth and really focus on reaching the fingertips out towards one end of the room and then pulling the toes back towards the other end of the room. Okay? Holding ourselves together, of course, with the strength of the core muscles. And you can go ahead and switch sides after a few breaths, maybe taking a little break to, just rotate the wrists and just take a couple resting breaths. And when you're ready to try again, you can just slowly come into that spinal balance on the other side on the exhale of the breath. Okay, nice and slowly. We can experiment with the toes here, so we could either point or flex the feet, depending on your personal preference. And then when you're ready to come out of the pose, of course, do so nice and slowly. On the exhale of the breath, and then we can go ahead and make ourselves back into that comfortable seated position we started in. Thanks for practicing the spinal balance pose with me here on Provenance Vie Saine for a healthy lifestyle. Thanks again for watching. Namaste.